Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Brand new week and a brand new bingo card, which is pinned to the top of our Twitter page at Pat Unleashed. When you get bingo, you want to be the first to call 888-900-3393, and you win $30 worth of merchandise from PatGrayShop.com and the dozen cookies from Kexi.com.
Wow.
It's just that easy. But when you call and you are the first through, first thing out of your mouth must be bingo. Yeah, with a little more excitement than that. In fact, a lot more.
I thought I was getting some help there. 888-900-3393, that's the number?
That's the number.
Okay.
And it starts in the upper left-hand corner this week with me saying that word does not mean what you think it means. Or you could go the Princess Bride route.
Keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
So either me saying it or the actual clip would be fine. Jeffy saying, do people? Then Hank Johnson.
I'm not a Latino at the Home Depot.
All right, we got fresh Hank.
Is he sure about that? Does he know that for a fact? Chris helps with Spanish pronunciation of some kind.
We got to break him out of prison first.
Right. Me saying, Manawa ni Arawa. Also, you hate to see that. Avocados.
Avocados from Mexico.
Oh, no.
Keith says.
Peoples.
Then we've got Jill saying.
So say it with me.
Mm-hmm.
Si se puede.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you for cutting that short.
Man.
Do not miss her.
She can't say it. She doesn't know what it means. Phenomenal. Jeffy with, you don't want none of that. Then we have.
Arriba, arriba.
Also Jeffy, obviously. Me saying en fuego. I give the wrong phone number. Not knowing which particular show I'm doing at whatever particular time.
You got to go down there again today, don't you?
I do.
Oh, man.
I do. Also, the word dickistocracy, which I believe is ruled by the judicial branch. Mayorkas saying...
Oh, you got that one.
Oh, I do have that one.
Yeah. That was a favorite for a long time.
Sure was. Fortunately, we don't have to...
The border is secure.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
And actually now, it kind of is.
Right.
Pretty much is.
Turns out all we needed was a new president.
Huh. How about that? Keith saying...
Just saying.
Mm-hmm. Al Sharpton.
Trump's escalation.
Trump's escalation. Jeffy. How about no? Kamala.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
No, I don't think that. So that's weird. The Telemundo, Maria Telemundo.
I feel that Just Too Muckenfudge gave us a Cinco de Mayo themed bingo board.
Kind of, yeah.
Today.
And happy Cinco de Mayo to you.
And if you look closely in the background there, you do see Jill eating the breakfast burritos with a sombrero on. Nice job with that.
That's great. I wouldn't have even. That is fantastic. Mm-hmm. Just some subtle nuances there. That
it just occurred to me.
That's
just
awesome.
Looking at these.
That is awesome. All right. So let's see. We're to the last row now, which is me saying, "Ollie, ollie, I'll come free." Chris, yes, sir. Felipe Calderon. I think. Do I have that? I bet I do.
Yeah.
If somebody do that without permissions, we send back them.
So if somebody do that without permissions, we send back them. One more time.
If somebody do that without permissions, we send back them.
You send back. Wow. Well, what an amazing ambition that was. He seemed to have no idea.
Right.
During that interview, what was even being said there about him.
The hypocrisy.
Yeah, the hypocrisy. Completely lost on him. No self-awareness at all. Keith says,
Niner.
And then Maryland Man is mentioned. Lately, that's a free square. So that could happen at any time. Over the weekend, the Kentucky Derby happened.
Yeah.
And the winner was, I guess, a surprise, was a 9-to-1 odd horse named Sovereignty. Did you watch? Did you watch the fastest 2.5 minutes in sports or whatever it is?
I did. Nice to see journalism going down in defeat.
Why?
Just because it's journalism.
Oh, okay.
And it's going down in defeat.
Just the name. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it did finish. Journalism finished second. And then Baeza, is that how you pronounce that? Baeza was third. Here's an interesting fact about the Kentucky Derby this year. Every horse in the race is a descendant of Secretariat.
Incredible.
How amazing is that?
I mean, that family's got some secrets, though.
The Secretariat family?
Sure. I mean, that many horses.
No. Yeah, there's a little something going on there.
That's wild, though. That is awesome.
Every horse a descendant of Secretariat. Incredible. All 19 of them. If you've ever seen the movie, you know, though, that people paid a pretty hefty price in order to have him sire their foals. So... kind of worked out for him, I guess.
I guess so. I mean, that's a win-win for him. Am I right?
You're right. Yeah, I don't think he was displeased about the situation.
So wait a minute. I'm a champion, and I get all of the glory and benefits that go along with that.
And the chicks.
You're gonna let me hang out with all these chicks?
Okay. Let me think. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. That's very cool. I guess it's not uncommon because the thing is they pay top dollar for the championship legendary horses to sire their horses.
Yeah. I wonder how much money they made off of the business that Secretariat was doing.
A lot. I think $7 million at the time, which was fairly pricey. It was a record amount. Have you seen Secretariat, the movie? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really excellent movie.
About 30 years old, right?
Not quite, but it's old enough for maybe you to have thought about watching it.
It's on the list now.
So I'm glad you've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's very good.
It is. It's a great movie. Some of the highlights of the president over the weekend. Man, he had a lot to say to Kristen Welker. I don't know why he keeps doing these Sunday morning shows, but he did meet the press over the weekend.
Yeah, we got a lot of clips from that.
Okay, good. And we'll get into that. So first, whoever was running the White House account on X was apparently having some fun over the weekend. First, there were the 4 Simple Truths post.
Okay.
And there it is.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. This is a simple truth. She's not president.
Okay.
The guy on the right, not a Maryland man.
Oh, Maryland man.
NPR, not real news. And not the Gulf of Mexico. It is now the Gulf of America. I like that a lot.
Just saying.
I like that. Not a Maryland man. That might be my favorite. I mean, we've had so much controversy over that. It's time that we realize, okay, the guy, he did have due process. He went to court multiple times. Courts ruled him a gang member. They stuck to that. He was supposed to be deported. Just that one little hang-up of not getting rid of the removal order, whatever that was called. They just didn't get him to court to take that away. But he got deported, and he should have been deported a long time ago. There was the DEI post, deport every illegal.
Yeah, see, the White House still supports DEI.
I like that. I can't believe we haven't. That hasn't hit us up until now. That's really good. And then this raised some ire among people.
Okay.
The retweet of something the president posted on Truth Social, and that's what he posted himself in a Pope outfit.
Huh.
If it's good enough for Jeffy,
right?
It's good enough for the president, right?
Yeah.
I think that offended some. And so,
yeah.
But that doesn't seem to be a main concern of the administration.
No, and those acting as if they were offended, that was the real treat this weekend. Those on the left who
are so Catholic now,
have never darkened the doorway of a church, all of a sudden find religious imagery being portrayed by someone. Right. Oh my gosh, we're so offended.
Right.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the question. Are you? And please, why haven't you been offended by anything else?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of outrageous.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And the left lost their minds. Suddenly, yes, they did carve out this religious sensitivity all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. So we thought we'd go through just a few of the examples of the left not getting upset when their side has mocked religion. And there's a lot of examples. There's President Barack Obama being compared to God.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
God of all things, says Newsweek.
That is like, I'm trying to think of the religious connotation there. It's Hindu, right?
Yeah. Everybody can play this game. Look, I mean, everybody's getting offended by this cover.
Yeah, and do you? I don't remember any kind of
I don't even remember seeing
blowback.
That cover.
I don't either. That's how much it didn't matter to people. Then there's President Barack Obama being compared to Jesus.
Whoa, the second coming.
Oh, my.
Who was running the covers of Newsweek during Obama's reign of terror?
Wow. There are countless times when the left has mocked.
Oh, yeah, sure. We've got a whole bunch of these. Oh, look, there's Jesus playing the crucifix as a guitar.
Oh, my gosh.
Do you remember the fake Catholic nuns at the Dodgers game?
Yes. And more?
Yeah, there's Kamala Harris standing with these faux nuns, the drag queens. I mean, just mocking religion. But, of course, I don't recall the outrage.
No, because there wasn't any. And then you had these buffoons.
Gretchen Whitmer with the fake
cute little move there.
Communion there with the Dorito chips and the chick on her knees. Oh, yeah, they're so offended. And, of course, New York Governor Kathy Hochul over the weekend tweeted out, "This is deeply offensive to me," Trump addressed as the Pope, "and to my fellow Catholics around the world as we continue to mourn our beloved Pope Francis." And then, of course, people immediately responded with a speech that she gave not too long ago about abortion being protected within the state boundaries of New York.
My gosh.
So, and, you know, we've talked about for the longest time the crucifix and the jar of urine. Boy, I remember the left just howling about that.
No, that was art, and that was supposed to be fine.
Right.
What are you trying to do? Block artistic expression? Is that what you want to do?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, that's what you're trying to do.
And I got to thinking, you know, if it were and I don't know who the president of the Southern Baptist Convention is, but if Trump dressed up as him, would there have been an outroar there?
No.
No,
there would not have.
But it's the Pope.
Yep.
So, kid gloves.
Yeah, and we could go on and on. There's all kinds of examples. I mean, many, many more than this. But wow, they don't. Are they gonna be pissed when Jeffy is elected the next pope and we've got examples of him dressing as women and stuff? Is that gonna offend them?
That'll come back to haunt him.
Yeah, that'll come back.
Well, unless you've seen the movie Conclave.
Yeah,
which, by the way, can I just say? Shout out to Keith for seeing a movie
without 40 years intervening.
When was that released, Pat Gray?
Wow, like this year, last year? Must have been last year because it was up for an Academy Award.
Okay. Well,
so
I feel like I'm winning.
But you did see it, before 40 years were up,
and I just ruined it for people. I'm so sorry.
Well, you don't know what.
Not really. Not really. Not really. I'll go see that.
Wasn't a full Glenn Becky.
Thank you.
Situation there.
Just enough to make a point.
Yeah, right.
Well, whatever. This whole Trump with the Pope outfit thing is
they're so outraged. They are so.
It's only because it's him. It has nothing to do with any respect they have for Catholicism, Christianity, or the Pope.
Right.
It's all because it's him. It could have been anyone, and it has been anyone else dressed up as the Pope in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, they don't care.
No, it's Trump, so we hate it. Yep, exactly.
That's right. Let me tell you about Fast Growing Trees. You know, that is the biggest online nursery in the U.S. They have thousands of different plants, 2 million happy customers or more. They have all the plants your yard needs. Fruit trees, privacy trees, you know, the flowering kind, shrub trees, just so much more. Whatever plant you're interested in, Fast Growing Trees has you covered. You can find the perfect fit for your climate and your space. Fast Growing Trees makes it really easy to get your dream yard. You can order online, get your plant delivered directly to your door in just a few days, and you never have to leave your house. I love that. Their Alive and Thrive guarantee ensures your plants arrive happy and healthy. You're going to see. They'll have a smile on their face when they get to your door. Plus, you'll get support from trained plant experts who are on call to help you plan your landscape and choose the right plants and learn how to care for them in your area. So I know that when my plant arrived, it was healthy and it was happy, had a great big smile on its face. Put it in the front area, and that helped us sell our house. It just increased the curb appeal of the house. And, while we didn't get to continue to enjoy it for a really long time, it did help us sell when we needed it. They're fantastic. And this spring, they have the best deals for your yard, up to half off on select plants and other deals. And listeners to our show get 15% off their first purchase when using the promo code PAT at checkout. So you get an additional 15% off at Fast Growing Trees. FastGrowingTrees.com. Use the promo code PAT. FastGrowingTrees.com, promo code PAT. Now is the perfect time to plant. And now is the perfect time to use the promo code PAT to save. Offers valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions may apply.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
So as I alluded to, there was an awful lot from President Trump over the weekend as he sat down with NBC News' Kristen Welker on Meet the Press. I don't know. I mean, at least you can't say he's hiding from the left. He has done multiple full-length interviews with these people. And this is something Joe Biden certainly wouldn't do it. How many times did Joe Biden go on Fox News and do massive interviews with them? Did he ever do it? Maybe with Bret Baier once? I don't know. But this is not something Democrats do. But, of course, she asked him if he, again, I mean, how many times does he have to say this? And he's actually asked that question himself. How many times?
The spending bill that passed last night aims to cut $2 trillion.
Might remember this.
Can you guarantee that Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security will not be touched?
I have said it so many times.
Thank you. Yes, you have said it so many times. And they continue to beat that drum. He was asked again if he's going to cut Medicare benefits.
What happens if it comes to your desk, has the tax cuts, but also cuts to Medicaid? Would you veto that?
Well, we're not doing that.
Would you veto that?
I would if they were cutting it, but they're not cutting it. They're looking at fraud, waste, and abuse. And nobody minds that. If illegal immigrants are in the mix, if people that aren't supposed to be there, people that are non-citizens are in the mix, nobody minds that. Waste, fraud, and abuse. But we're not cutting Medicaid, we're not cutting Medicare, and we're not cutting Social Security.
Again! How many times? That won't do it.
No,
they won't. They'll continue to claim he's trying to cut Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security benefits. And it's just a flat-out lie, and everybody knows it, and they keep saying it anyway. They also discussed tariffs and China.
You're not dropping the tariffs against China to get them to the negotiating table. Those tariffs are staying on.
Why would I do that?
Would you lower them?
At some point, I'm going to lower them because otherwise you could never do business with them.
Right.
And they want to do business very much. Look, their economy is really doing badly. Their economy is collapsing.
Wow.
Yeah. And I ran across this over the weekend. This, I think, says it all right here. 3 weeks ago, the headline was, China raises tariffs on U.S. imports to 125%, calling Trump's policies a joke. That was 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
3 days ago, China caves on 125% tariff for major U.S. export after White House predicts blah, 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 blah.
Interesting.
Huh, isn't it, though?
Interesting.
It's almost like they're reacting to the Trump tariffs.
It's almost. It can't be that, obviously, because then you'd have to give some credit to the president, who is Donald Trump. So it can't be, but it's almost like that.
Yeah.
And look, I believe in free trade. I've said this millions of times, but as Adam Smith talked about, it needs to be reciprocal. That's the situation right now. The problem that President Trump is trying to fix is that our relationship with the rest of the world, especially China, but Europe as well, and Canada too, it's been unequal. It's not reciprocal. They have taken advantage of us and our good nature for at least a century. and probably longer than that. And it needs to stop at some point.
Yeah, and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has been out there reminding China of their, I forgot what the word was, awful, devastating something, their economic outlook and their GDP. And he's been out there just reminding them, things on the horizon not looking so good for you, China. Want to make a deal? I love it.
And people are coming all unglued over President Trump saying, and maybe we still have this. So does he talk about the toys?
I don't think
Here,
so.
do we have that? Okay, so he mentioned that, you know, your kids might have 2 or 3 toys instead of 30 at Christmas time. And that, of course.
Oh, I did not see that.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, no.
That, of course, brings down the wrath of the left because how dare you? It's a whole Marie Antoinette thing they're trying to make out of it. Which, by the way, Marie Antoinette never said that. There's no evidence that she ever said that. And that poor woman has gone through the ringer for the last 2 centuries. Because that quote, let him eat cake, has been attributed to her since a couple of decades after she was executed. So she got executed and never said, let them eat cake. And they just started applying that to her, I guess, to sort of make it okay that they took her head off, removed it from her shoulders. And so she's been saddled with that ever since. But she never said it, and Donald Trump certainly didn't say it. Plus, there's a big difference between food and whether or not you're going to have food and whether or not you're going to have dolls manufactured in China for Christmas. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. There might be some issues, and he's trying, I think, to prepare us for that a little bit, that the shelves might not be stocked quite as full as they have been and we're used to. But there was more discussion on tariffs during this interview.
So you acknowledge when you announced your tariffs, for example, the stock market dropped. It's been volatile. It has since gone up.
It is,
Do you
but now
take
it's
responsibility
going up. Look at
for
today.
that? Yeah. Do you take responsibility when it drops?
Ultimately, I take responsibility for everything, but I've only just been here for a little more than 3 months. But the stock market, look at what's happened in the last short period of time. Didn't it have 9 or 10 days in a row or 11 days where it's gone up? And the tariffs have just started kicking in. And we're doing really well psychologically. I mean, the fake news was giving me such press on the tariffs. The tariffs are going to make us rich. We're going to be a very rich country.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we've almost made up all of those losses from a month ago.
Pretty close, yeah. Yeah. The stock market's been up, is it 9 straight days?
Yes.
And it's nearly made its way back to where it was when all of this started. So he was also asked about the possibility of a recession.
Some people on Wall Street have expressed concerns that the possibility of a recession is increasing. And I want to know what you think about that. Are you comfortable with the country potentially dipping into a recession for a period of time if you are able to achieve your long-term goals?
Well, you know, you say some people on Wall Street say, well, I tell you something else. Some people on Wall Street say that we're going to have the greatest economy in history. Why don't you talk about them? Because some people on Wall Street say this is the greatest thing.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at, though. It's the same question.
Yeah, there are many people on Wall Street say this is going to be the greatest windfall ever happened.
Yeah, if she asked you that question about the other people on Wall Street, then that would be more of a positive spin. And you know she can't do that.
Can't do that.
Can't do that.
Come on now.
That can't happen. And of all people, former Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy was on with Bill Maher on Friday, and he countered all of the doomsayers on the economy.
Incredible.
Also, the first 100 days, and, you know, this is traditionally what they call the president's honeymoon. You know, presidents do big things in the first 100 days. Obama did Obamacare. Biden had the infrastructure thing, because you get a brief honeymoon.
Yeah.
So if this is the honeymoon, what is the rest of this marriage going to look like? Because I just want to read some of the stats. I read some of them in the monologues. 7% is the S&P 500 is down. Economy has shrunk for the first time in 3 years. Value of the dollar is down 10%. Consumer confidence down. Trucking volume starting to tank. Jamie Dimon says the best case scenario is a recession. UPS is cutting 20,000 jobs because they expect less packages to be delivered. Even McDonald's is down 3.6%. Goldman Sachs says we will experience the lowest economic growth and the highest inflation of any big boy country in 2025, even empty seats at Beyonce's concert. Wow. I guess what I'm asking is, Kevin, so everybody knows something except Trump, or is it the other way around? We're all wrong and he's got it right?
We're not all wrong, but this is the point, a couple things you didn't mention. This is a stock market up for the first time 9 straight days. That's only happened 8 times in the last 25 years.
Up from where it was way down.
But you haven't been every single day for 9 straight days. That's only happened 31 times in 97 years.
And why did that happen, I'm asking?
Well, I think we've gotten over that we know the tariffs are a negotiation. It's not going to stay this way. I think people are seeing the investment coming back. You look at the jobs numbers today, it surpassed the second time. And if you read into the job numbers,
jobs were up.
9,000 jobs were cut in government, but the private sector has grown. So he's doing a disruption, but you're seeing kind of a little light at the end of the tunnel. Now, if they get in the next 60 days a couple trade agreements, I think you're going to see this market take off.
I am kind of shocked that he's defending President Trump there. How about that?
I know. And he doesn't even have a,
wow.
From my understanding, what's his political angle?
Yeah,
right?
There doesn't seem to be one, does there?
Yeah.
Huh. And he's on a show where they're much more likely to be into what he says if it's negative to Trump. So, he actually just spoke truth there. Who knew? Who knew he was capable of that? Congratulations, Kevin. Good for you. Good. Somebody give him a star on his forehead for the day. That's nice. Little gold star right there in the middle of his head. Meanwhile, on the Democrat side, James Carville shared his thoughts on why Democrats don't lie.
Yeah, what
and he's
what are you
serious
implying?
about this?
Sir, what are you implying?
I'm implying that's all they do. Let me just not imply it, but state it emphatically. Wow. That's about all Democrats do. Okay. But here's James Carville.
The other thing I would say, and I will say this repeatedly, people say to me all the time, James, why don't we just do like the Republicans do? Just stand up and lie. Because our people wouldn't stand for it.
Our people wouldn't.
If I stood up and lied, you would be the first person to say, James Carville lost all credibility last night when he said X, Y, and Z. Yeah, I can spin, I can shade. Everybody does that. They just
this is incredible.
Like look you right in the eye and lie. And then our people say, well, we ought to lie like them. No, we shouldn't.
Gosh.
They would not do that. It would not go over well.
It happened for 4 straight years. What are you talking about? We were lied to every day, all day, for a solid 4 years under Joe Biden. About everything. Everything.
You can go back much, much further than Joe Biden, too, if you wanted to.
I mean, let's just talk the recent history on this. Oh, my God. He's pretty much getting more outrageous every day. I mean, that might surpass all the Nazi stuff, because everybody does that. I don't think I've ever heard anybody claim that the Democrats never lie because their people would hold them too accountable. Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you.
You talk about being oblivious.
Holy cow.
To the truth.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep. Whew. That might be the biggest lie of all. In fact, that's the biggest lie ever told. The Democrats don't lie.
There it is, y'all.
There it is. Congratulations. Somebody get James a star for his forehead, too, because that's an accomplishment. The biggest lie ever told. Democrats don't lie.
And that's an irony right there, because he just lied to say that they don't lie.
Exactly
In
right.
fact, I used to listen to Neil Bort's talk radio in Atlanta, and he had a trivia question one day. What's the biggest lie Bill Clinton ever told? And it was during his oath of office. I will uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Oh, that's good.
That's on par with that right there. Democrats don't lie.
All right. 888-900-3393. More coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Couple of tweets. Jimmy Dimples tweets, thing is, Christians see these blasphemies and their general response, roll their eyes, mutter morons under their breath, and go on with their day. No riots, fires, or explosions anywhere. Now, if anyone starts mocking Muhammad...
what?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sons of Thunder 44, when can we expect no tax on overtime and tips?
Oh, hey. Thanks for the reminder.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, the White House has released an outline for the 2026 budget. This is from the press release.
Yeah, I didn't see any overtime or tips.
But it does reduce non-defense discretionary spending by $163 billion, or 23%, from the 2025 enacted level. It guts a weaponized deep state while providing historic increases for defense and border security, which is exactly what we need.
So if I understood what you just read there, it sounds like they're just taking us back to 2024 levels then? I don't know.
Yeah.
What's that sentence say again? 23%?
23% from it's down 23% from the 2025 enacted level.
So new stuff that was enacted in 2025, they're getting rid of, and that's our cut? Cool.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like it. Yeah,
Okay.
Sounds like it. This is the lowest non-defense spending level since 2017, though.
Oh.
Savings come from eliminating radical diversity, equity, and inclusion and critical race theory programs.
Good.
Green New Deal scam funding.
Good.
Large swaths of the federal government weaponized against the American people, and moving programs that are better suited for states and localities to provide. Defense spending would actually increase by 13%, and appropriations for the Department of Homeland Security would increase by nearly 65% to ensure that our military and other agencies repelling the invasion of our border have the resources they need to complete the mission. These increases will be made possible through the passage of President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill.
There it is.
There it is. So they plan to stop the weaponization of the government and reduce violent crime, defund the harmful woke Marxist agenda, secure the border, realign foreign aid, rebuild our nation's military, achieve American energy dominance, make America healthy again. And they're taking quite a few steps, at least on the color of our food so far for that. Support our veterans, preserve Social Security. It's right there in the bill. They're going to preserve Social Security, streamline K-12 education funding, and promote parental choice. So that's so great.
Okay, so this bill, this is going to cut Social Security and cut Medicare and cut Medicaid?
No, it is not. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, well, that's what I heard.
That is not what I'm saying. Okay. I know all Democrats everywhere just heard that.
Seriously.
Jeez. Support space flight. I like that. Maintain support for tribal nations. I've demanded that for how long now? How long have I been on that bandwagon?
Well, it's been to the point of ridiculousness off air.
Right, yeah.
And
I know.
It spills over every now and then and onto the show, and usually accompanied by like a song from the 60s. But anyway, the point being...
1970, actually.
Okay, my goodness, I'm so glad we got that in there. But the point is, that you have been championing that, and now it's going to be codified. Thank God.
Thank goodness. Address drug abuse, support artificial intelligence and quantum research. Okay. Improve wildland firefighting. Oh yeah, that's probably something that's long overdue. Huh?
Absolutely.
Jeez. So anyway, this could be really important, this big, beautiful bill.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing, like the fire stuff you just mentioned.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing you'll never get credit for.
Right.
Because those will be fires that never get wild and spread, and you'll never know. But if you don't do that maintenance, then it's going to destroy towns, homes, lives ruined.
As we just saw.
Exactly. So that is actually very good news. Have that in there.
Also, he's already cut funding to PBS and NPR. I love that. It's just so great. And, of course, the left is all up in arms over it. Who was it that put out the West Wing clip?
Did you say it was Cory Booker in your email?
Yes, it was Cory Booker.
Okay.
Yes, Cory.
Uh-oh.
So this is how he responds.
Oh, wow.
To PBS and NPR having their funding cut with a pretend White House conversation from West Wing. Look at this. This is what he
PBS,
tweeted.
But we also work for congressmen who have constituencies that want to know why the federal government is subsidizing television for rich people.
It's not television for rich people.
Oh, Toby.
It's not television for rich people. In fact, the public television audience is a fairly accurate reflection of the social and economic makeup of the United States. 1/4 of the PBS audience is in households with incomes lower than $20,000 a year. Blacks comprise 11% of the public television audience, and blacks comprise 11% of the commercial TV audience. 47% of PBS viewers have a high school education or less, which is 1% better than the commercial TV audience. So what are you talking to me about?
Product licensing for Big Bird dolls and Fuzzy Bear toys?
Fuzzy Bear.
Fuzzy Bear.
Whatever.
Fuzzy Bear, not Fuzzy Bear.
He's a big fan, obviously.
Product licensing for this merchandise brings in over $20 million a year, none of which goes to PBS, all of which goes to the show's producer.
I love this.
The Children's Television Workshop. Now, this is a company whose chief executive earns high six figures in salary and benefits per year.
Right.
Yet Sesame
That's
Street
real
is
stuff.
subsidized by taxpayer dollars.
Perfectly reasonable complaint.
And?
I don't care.
Okay.
We're
All
going
right.
to see
Got
all
it.
those things.
And he doesn't care. So apparently Cory Booker thought that was an actual recorded conversation in the White House, and he thinks Toby is one of the president's men, I guess. I don't even understand what... In fact, that kind of makes our point, that it should be defunded. Not his, but...
That's funny.
Oh, man, these people are agonizing.
Yes, they are.
Somebody might want to tell him that the West Wing wasn't actually filmed live happening in this particular administration. So,
or in reality.
At
all.
At any time ever.
That's awesome.
Fantastic. Some cities are canceling cultural events due to fears of ICE raids and deportation.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Wow. For the past 45 years, Chicago's Little Village neighborhood has celebrated Cinco de Mayo with a parade featuring Mexican bands, floats, and dancers and a festival at a local park. But this year's celebration, which attracts up to 300,000 people, has been canceled.
Like ducks on a pond, they would have been.
Chicago's among several communities across the country that have canceled or scaled back cultural events due to President Trump's crackdown on undocumented immigrants. Read illegal aliens. Event organizers said many Latinos, whether legal or undocumented, legal or illegal.
Well, thank you. Good grief.
They fear being arrested if they gather publicly in large crowds. Advocates also report some are afraid to attend church, go to work, or take their children to school. You know what? They might want to self-deport then if you're afraid.
Yeah, I mean,
that being here illegally is a problem.
Yeah,
maybe you should go somewhere where you're legal.
Yeah,
and then you don't have to look over your shoulder ever.
Yeah, then you don't have to live in the shadows.
Since January, ICE has carried out raids in so-called sanctuary cities like Chicago, which limit cooperation with the federal government in enforcing immigration laws. So, if you're planning to attend a Cinco de Mayo celebration today, it just may have been canceled.
Oh, boo-hoo. Yeah, call ahead. Oh, that sucks. But
doesn't it, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sad.
I mean, you should celebrate Cinco de Mayo. I mean, just in the fact that was when the French were defeated at the Battle of Puebla. In Mexico, preventing them from... the French from inserting themselves into our Civil War on the side of the South.
Right.
So if you're pro-union, then you would want to celebrate this.
Exactly.
Is it true, though, that more people... I know it is, right? This kind of...
More people celebrate here than there?
Yeah.
Supposedly, yeah. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I think it's accurate.
Yeah. But careful if you're venturing out. Make sure that you're legally in this nation, or else you could be setting yourself up for a rough day.
Yep. Let me tell you about Beam. Beam is proudly founded in America and run by people who share our values: hard work, integrity, delivering results. It's a healthy nighttime blend packed with science-backed ingredients shown to improve sleep, so you can wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day. Dream is made with a really powerful blend of all-natural ingredients: reishi, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin, to name a few. It's designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling great. And unlike other sleep aids, there's no next day grogginess, just great restful sleep. Here's the deal. Beam is giving my listeners the ultimate Patriot discount of up to 40% off. You can try their best-selling Dream Powder and get up to 40% off for a limited time. So go to shopbeam.com/Pat. That's shopbeam.com/Pat. Use the promo code Pat at checkout. Shopbeam.com/Pat to get 40% off. You'll sleep better, you wake up stronger, and show up ready for your day, for your family, for your work, for your country. Because when you're well rested, you're unstoppable. And this country needs more people like that. Shopbeam.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed continues.
If, in fact, you are attending a Cinco de Mayo celebration today, you just may hear.
So say it with me.
Mm-hmm.
Si se puede.
Si se
the
puede.
future is ours.
Right.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Jill, for showing us you don't know what you're talking about, how to say it, what it means. None of it. None of it. Also, Sean Penn is worried about what Donald Trump may do before the end of his term in office.
What's he been up to?
Oh, man. I shudder to think, but let's find out.
Okay.
But before Bukele gets to that point where he's dealing with another leader, we should consider worst-case scenarios. And I do think it's a reasonable theory that Donald Trump is not unlike the spouse of someone who leaves him, perhaps for another, who then murders their former partner because if they can't have her.
Wait, what?
Did you follow this, or do you need to take it from the top? Should we do this again?
Yeah,
okay. This is the most tortured analogy
what the
here.
Hell?
Okay, but first of all, did you notice this is a Jim Acosta show? So he's still alive and kicking.
Is it?
But
that's great.
I tried to follow this analogy. I watched this multiple times. I just couldn't do it. So
you never got to the bottom of it?
I can't. I'm just
all right.
But I'm slow. See if you can.
Okay.
But before Bukele gets to that point where he's dealing with another leader, we should consider worst case scenarios. And I do think it's a reasonable theory that Donald Trump is not unlike the spouse of someone who leaves him, perhaps for another, who then murders their former partner because if they can't have her, nobody can. And I think Donald Trump in his solipsism may have that relationship with the world. And that this destruction is in part a power play and also a literal intention of his final out.
You think he'll try to stay on?
I think he might try to destroy the world before
You're not getting it, Jim.
Out of life.
Pause it for a sec. Jim's not getting it either. You think he might try to stay on? That's not what he's saying. What he's saying is he's going to destroy the rest of the world because he can't have it.
Yeah. Because he can't stay on.
Oh, my God.
So, therefore, if I can't have the world, then no one will. And I'm destroying it on my way out the door. What the hell?
What goofball.
But, wow, that's quite an assortment of characters there. You got Jim Acosta, Sean Penn, and Eric Swalwell. Woo-hoo. Boy, that's a fun time.
So you've got a whole bunch of different ideologies there, all the way from communism to socialism. That entire spectrum there.
Yeah.
From extreme communism to extreme socialism.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
all there.
That's bold. So you're going to get quite an array of opinion there from those three.
Was that the end of the clip? Because after
is there more?
After Acosta's like, "Do you think you'll stay on?" Man, boy, Jim, you're dumb. You totally didn't follow that. What's your problem?
Did not get
Let's see.
that.
What did Penn say after that? I don't know.
Life.
Jim, in the history of
dictators or those who aspire to be dictators, there's never a succession plan, right? There's never, and that's what worries me is if he doesn't believe there's somebody who can protect him, that you will see him ratchet up.
Sure.
What he's willing to do.
Well, he's going to destroy the world. Sean just said. So, I don't know if either one of them really got the gist of it.
So hold on. Donald Trump's tell that he's going to try to destroy the world on his way out is that he doesn't have a succession plan of who's going to be next in line. That's the dumbest. What in the world, man?
It doesn't really need a succession plan. The Constitution has one for him. So,
of all the people to talk to, Eric Swalwell and Sean Penn.
Right.
Woo.
Yep.
Some winners there.
Those are some sane voices of reason right there.
Boy, all you needed was James Carville to round out.
Oh, that would have been great.
The little 4-box there.
Yeah. Jeez.
Boy, that's a party in disarray, man.
It is.
They are flailing. I love it.
It is. And in fact, President Trump backed off the third term thing. He actually said that's not something he told Kristen Welker, that's not something I'm looking to do. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. On the left, they don't even have that now because he did say, I'm not really planning that. So, but they're going to continue to say he is. You know that. They'll just ignore that part of it. And he did bring up Alcatraz, which also means that he's planning to put all of his political opponents in there.
Okay.
Yeah, all the Democrats, I think, they're going to go straight to Alcatraz because he's going to fix it up, rebuild it, and open it back up. In a post that he shared on Truth Social last night, he said the reopening of Alcatraz will serve as a symbol of law, order, and justice. It's so great. He directed the Bureau of Prisons to work alongside the Department of Justice, FBI, and Homeland Security to reopen a substantially enlarged and rebuilt Alcatraz.
Interesting.
Isn't it, though?
So is it a tourist spot now? Like, could you?
Yeah,
you can just go and hang out there now. Like,
I believe you can. Yeah, for a price.
Well, that stinks.
I think they take you out there on a ferry for a price. And you can tour that.
You don't want to be the last tour group.
No, you
between the transition there. Because like, whoa, no, I'm supposed to get on that boat. Sure you are. Huh.
He also directed the opening of a detention center at Guantanamo Bay, which will hold up to 30,000 people of the worst criminal aliens. So be careful, Sean and Eric. Might be coming for you. Hate to see you worry about that. That would be a shame.
Pat Gray, Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
And got some tweets for you. This from Gen X Kid 71. Anything for the Lumbies in the big, beautiful bill?
All right.
I think so. I think there's always something
They've
for
gotten
Lumbies.
Plenty.
Not yet.
Sure they have.
No, they haven't gotten their fair share
We gave
yet.
them internet. We gave them recognition.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you need?
Casinos? I need casinos. Do we have any?
Is there a Lumbee? I'll get back to you.
Okay. Adrian Slade tweets, don't people realize that you don't need PBS to host your content anymore? You could post it to YouTube.
Right. Yeah.
Very true.
And there is not currently a Lumbee casino operating in North Carolina.
Is. See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Got to get that in there.
Got to get that.
Yeah. How can you be an Indian tribe and not have a casino?
I don't know.
Days?
I don't know.
Get in the club, y'all.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
The one that's, an hour from here in Oklahoma. Is that the biggest? It's one of the biggest, I think, in the world.
Biggest in the world. Yeah. That's the one just across the board. Yeah.
I've driven by it a few times. Yeah. It looks very impressive. I haven't been inside.
No.
Have you? Have you been inside?
I've been in there. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is it cool? Is it nice?
No.
No? It's not nice? It's not cool?
No. My nose tells me one area is all smoking wing.
Oh, yeah.
And another area is all not smoking wing, which means it's a smoking wing, too.
Right. Yeah.
They're not separated by...
Yeah. When we went to the Independence Bowl a couple years ago in Shreveport, they had a casino there that we couldn't find any place to eat. We finally went into the casino, and it was like 99% smoke and 1% oxygen. Sort of. It was nasty.
And
it was nasty.
There's a lot that I miss from my childhood in the 80s and 90s. A lot. One thing I do not miss is the secondhand smoke from that era.
I don't either. Nope.
On planes, in restaurants, everywhere.
And remember the battle when this all began? The clean air statutes and whatnot? And it was going to shut down restaurants. No, they don't sell cigarettes. They sell food. Okay? It'll be okay. It'll be okay for the restaurants. And apparently it was. Nobody went out of business because you couldn't smoke in there. And now pretty much that's everywhere, is it not? I mean, I don't know anywhere where you can go in and...
Yeah.
Casinos.
Yeah. I don't
Bars.
know. See, this is where you and I disagree. I think it should be a choice of the individual businesses, not the local cities and what have you. But,
I think it's a health ordinance.
But I was just starting to think, because you had asked, is there any other place? You know, I go to Waffle House, but... It's been a while since there's been smoking going in there, so I don't know if it must be...
So they must have stopped it too,
city ordinances or something got them, but that's the last bastion that you would see that.
Yep. All right, let me take a minute and tell you about where we are right now, because let's be honest, conservatives are winning, essentially. The movement is gaining ground, people are waking up, and the narrative of the left is cracking. The momentum is finally shifting to our side, but the fight's not over, not even close. That's why Blaze TV exists, because in a world full of noise, we need a stronghold for bold voices, free thinkers, and fearless commentary that helps make sense of all the chaos. At Blaze TV, we've built a home for some of the strongest, smartest voices in conservative media. People who tell it like it is and ask the tough questions. The mainstream media certainly won't touch any of them. So we do it here at The Blaze. And so you're not just watching content here. You're supporting a movement. You're backing creators who think for themselves, speak boldly, and refuse to be silenced by big tech or corporate media. You're supporting investigative journalism that exposes corruption and original documentaries that shine a light on the deep state. It's everything the networks won't show you, delivered on your terms on any device, anytime you want. And it starts at just $8 a month, the price of essentially a cup of coffee. When you use my promo code PAT at checkout, that's only 26 cents a day to stand with a platform that stands with you. So if you're ready to keep winning, shop your values and make sure that we don't lose the ground that we've gained. Go to blazetv.com/Pat and subscribe today. That's blazetv.com/Pat. Promo code Pat, and you'll save $20 right now off our annual plan. Blaze TV, unfiltered, unafraid, and on demand.
Pat Gray Unleashed is back.
So I guess Waffle House has a general no smoking policy.
Oh.
But some locations may allow smoking. So I don't exactly understand that. Okay. Anyway, right. So I guess...
it's probably the ones that... Yeah, I wonder if it's franchised. The corporate ones don't have it. And then if you decide
But they
on
made
your
that
own,
decision, it looks like. And so that's interesting.
Yeah, that is
there
interesting.
There you go.
Well, that is why I stopped going to Waffle House, because of the smoke. So
how are we going to get you back in there?
Now it's probably too late.
Really?
The whole diabetes thing.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
Just for some hash browns?
Yeah, well,
Scattered,
hash browns, but then I'd have to have a waffle. I mean, what do you go to Waffle House for? Not hash browns. Right?
Well, actually, I don't ever get a waffle at Waffle House.
Seriously?
Now that you mention it.
Really?
Yeah. Get the egg and cheese and hash browns.
Okay. Eggs, chease, and hash browns.
I can't think of the name of the deal of the menu item.
Is it an omelet?
No, it's just a thing.
Okay, just a thing.
It's got eggs and
Obviously.
cheese and hash browns. What is it called? I can't.
I don't know.
So
I don't know.
Got to get the bacon there, of course.
Yeah, of course.
It's interesting that I don't even remember the last time I ate a waffle at a Waffle House. Shame on me.
Yeah, might be time.
Yeah,
it might be time. We haven't played this video yet because we haven't confirmed every detail in it, but the point of it is definitely made. The common sense has been lost when we're dealing with the Islamic invasion of Great Britain.
Yeah.
Check this out.
The mayor of London is Muslim. The mayor of Birmingham is a Muslim. The mayor of Leeds is Muslim. The mayor of Blackburn is Muslim. The mayor of Sheffield is Muslim. The mayor of Oxford is a Muslim. The mayor of Luton is a Muslim. The mayor of Oldham is a Muslim. The mayor of Rochdale is a Muslim.
Episcopalian? No,
All of this was achieved by only 4 million Muslims out of the 66 million people in England. Today, in England, there are over 3,000 mosques. There are over 130 Sharia courts in England. And there are more than 50 Sharia councils. 78% of Muslim women do not work and receive state support and free accommodation.
Wait, what?
63% of Muslims do not work and receive state support and free housing. State-supported Muslim families have an average of 6 to 8 children who all receive free accommodation. Every school in the UK is required to teach about Islam. The number one most common baby name in England is Muhammad. This is not immigration.
It's not Bob.
This is invasion.
Used to be Bob at one point.
Wait.
So she says it's an invasion. That is so insensitive. Wow. Wow. You know what? We have a similar situation going on in Texas right now. I mean, it's not that bad. All of our mayors are not Muslim necessarily, but Valencia Gomez showed up at a Muslim rally last week at the state capitol in Austin.
She's not shy.
And she took to the microphone to say a few things.
Islam is the religion of rape.
Oh, golly.
Pedophilia, where they bow down to a stupid rock and it falls from
Okay.
them.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. And she shouted down.
So there's a taste of what's happening in Texas. You have these gatherings, and you can kill this video now.
Wow.
So you get one extreme or the other.
Yeah, that was maybe a better way to do it than that. But Texas State Representative Brian Harrison took to Twitter to update us on some things that are happening here, and going to need the glasses for some of this.
We have the tweet. You want to put that up?
We do have the tweet.
I thought we did.
I think we have a tweet.
All right.
And there it is. So we didn't cut property taxes, but the Texas House did vote on these very pressing issues. Was this last Friday, last week sometime?
Yeah, all this happened in one afternoon.
So we designated Galveston as the official Juneteenth capital of Texas.
You've got to. That's where it happened.
A 10-year period ending 2035. So Galveston will be the Juneteenth capital of Texas. I don't know what that means. What happens then in the capital of Juneteenth?
I don't know. I mean, that's where the slaves were last informed that the Civil War had gone their way.
Yes.
And so I can see why you do that. But I don't know what you're going to do on that day. Just have parties and whatnot.
And I don't know what you're going to do as the capital of Juneteenth.
And I love how you have to get them in 10-year intervals.
Yeah.
Like, we got to renew this.
Strange.
Because, El Paso, they put in a bid to be the Juneteenth capital of Texas, so we need to check them out for the next go-around.
Well, yeah, you can't let Galveston hog it for, let's say, 2 decades.
Right.
Just one. That's all you get. They also designated September as Deaf Awareness Month for a 10-year period ending in 2035.
What's that?
It is Deaf Awareness Month in September. Now, that's just for the next 10 years, though.
Yeah.
After that, I guess September's up for grabs.
Yeah, there'll be a renewal process.
They've designated Pflugerville as the official trail capital of Texas for a 10-year period ending in, you guessed it, 2035. Wow. Galveston is the official a lot of things. They've also designated Galveston the official Mardi Gras capital of Texas.
Let somebody else have a shot.
For a 10-year period ending in 2035. Why do they get to be the Juneteenth capital?
Yeah, you got to pick one.
And the official Mardi Gras capital of Texas. Come on now.
You got to pick one.
They redesignated Poteet as the official strawberry capital of Texas. I guess it's already been that, but it's going to continue until
thank goodness
2035. Redesignated Dripping Springs as the official wedding capital of Texas. I'm glad they got to these things. This is really important.
How's your property taxes looking?
Ugly, thank you. They redesignated Jim Hogg County as the official Vaquero capital of Texas.
Jim Hogg. Mm-hmm. That's the guy who had Ida and Ima Hogg as his daughters.
Oh,
right. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe
it's important.
I don't know. Designating LaSalle County as the official wild hog capital of Texas for the next 10 years. Also, they designated Newton County as the official forest capital of Texas for a 10-year period. And they designated, finally, Carthage as the official country music capital of Texas for a 10-year period ending in 2035.
How are they picking that? Yeah, so I think it's a fun fact. Texas, we have James Stephen Hogg was governor of Texas from 1890 to 1894.
Mm-hmm.
His daughters, right here, if you'll check this out.
Ima's one of them?
Ima and Ura. Ima Hogg and Ura Hogg.
That's unfortunate.
And then we got even a picture of one of them. This here is, there's Ima
That's
Hogg.
Ima Hogg.
Here's Ima Hogg.
Okay, let me see.
Look at that, huh?
Okay.
Ima Hogg's a looker.
Yep.
Unfortunate name.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather be Ura Hogg than Ima Hogg if I have to choose one.
Ima and Ura.
What is
That's a fun guy right there.
On. That guy should have anything named after him.
Oh man!
Oh, look, here's the Hogg family back in the day. That's
the whole family.
The whole family gathered around for the
including
picture.
The mom.
1890. Yep.
There they are.
There's Miss Piggy. Mrs. Hogg.
Miss Hogg. And the girls.
Look at that. That's a good.
Mr. and Mrs. Hogg, the girls, and one boy.
I wonder what his name was. 2 boys in there.
Oh, 2. Okay.
So let's.
Wow. All right.
We'll see.
Interesting.
We're gonna have to find out the boys' names because that is something else here.
Yeah, that's.
William and Michael. That's not cool.
That is not cool.
What in the world?
All right, let's be honest. We're not getting any younger, right? And if you want to look and feel your best, you need to check out Pure Health Research. They have 45 premium health supplements that are designed to help with every health goal that you could have. Whether it's boosting your energy, trimming belly fat, supporting healthy blood sugar, or just pumping up your testosterone, maybe even reducing leg swelling, Pure Health Research Supplement Store has you covered. Every formula is crafted with natural, non-GMO ingredients and backed by clinical research, manufactured right here in the U.S. And here's the best part. Pure Health Research is offering you an exclusive 35% discount right now. Just go to purehealthresearch.com, use the coupon code PAT at checkout. With their 365-day money-back guarantee, there's just no risk in trying something new. So why wait? Go to purehealthresearch.com right now and check out their 45 amazing supplements. Save 35% before this deal ends when you use the coupon code PAT. Don't miss this chance to feel your best.
Subscribe to Pat Gray Unleashed on iTunes and Spotify.
Well, we found out during the break that Keith Malinak misled us on the Hogg family. Wow. Really hurts.
Does it?
Yeah. James and Sally Hogg.
Yeah.
Only had one daughter.
Yeah.
I'm a hog.
Yeah.
They didn't have a daughter named You're a Hog.
Yeah, they had 3 boys, 1 girl, and so I'm a hog.
I'm a Hog is real.
Real person.
But You're a Hog, not so much.
Yeah, right?
Not so much.
I feel disappointed, actually.
Yeah. It is kind of sad. It is kind of sad.
All right.
All right, some tweets here. Census Cowboy tweets, Pat, has Keith not seen the documentary The Rock? Yes, Alcatraz is a tourist spot.
That's right, yeah. Sean Connery took it over. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I saw that movie.
Frank Johnson's alter ego. Smokers had their chance to bring it back when everyone was wearing their N95 masks. If they would stop the virus, they would surely stop the secondhand smoke. Sure. Squatching Duck. To get Pat to a Waffle House now, you'd have to have him drunk and hungry at 3 a.m. where nothing else is open, just like everyone else.
Awesome. That's funny. Good stuff.
All right. So on Saturday, they had a vote down in the very southern tip of Texas to rename the area around where SpaceX is launching their missiles in South Texas.
Missiles. Wow. Elon's starting wars now.
So this is right where I think they have 4 different launch pads.
Okay.
And they pretty much control that whole area.
Yeah, it's like a de facto town, but now it's official.
And now it is official. They named it Starbase, City of Starbase.
Cool.
Which is really kind of cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
What else is going on down there?
Nothing. Almost nothing. Everybody down there, pretty much. I think there's something like 240 homes, and all but 10 are owned by SpaceX or SpaceX employees. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's now City of Starbase, Texas.
Does Elon get to be the mayor now?
Does not say. I don't know. That would be pretty cool. Apparently, he'll be. He's going to have more time for SpaceX coming very soon. Although I don't think he's actually stopped completely with Doge yet, has he? I don't think he's moved on.
I know Doge itself hasn't moved on, but I was under the impression he had. I may be wrong.
Maybe he has done that already. Last week, yeah. Well, maybe last week on the 100th day, he might have.
Needs to get over on X and take a look over there and see what's happening.
Yeah.
Since, the bots are running amok.
Are they? Is that a thing?
Listen to you.
Are they? I didn't know that.
Mr. Twitter is... Yeah.
Canada had a chance to change course last week from their radical leftist government to a more common sense approach, but they chose to keep the insanity going a little bit longer. There's a clip going around from a former member of the Canadian Parliament, Ryan Williams, who's been discussing a new mandate that not many Canadians are aware of.
Oh.
Not many Canadians know there's an electric vehicle mandate in place right now. It was without a debate in Parliament that says by 2035 you can no longer buy in Canada a hybrid or gas car. You have to buy an electric automobile. It was quietly put in place by the Environmental Minister, Guilbeault, in the last Parliament, and he just changed SEPA, the Environmental Protection Act. And all they did was said that all vehicles made in Canada have to have 0 emissions. It's an example where government thinks they know
Don't worry
best.
about it.
And, the examples we give of why this doesn't work, not only with the cold climate we have here and rural Canadians who, need their vehicles, but Peterborough just had a powder outage 3 weeks ago. It was one of the only Sundays we didn't door knock, and power was out for 5 days. At that point, you don't have a car. If you have an electric vehicle and you can't power it. It's an example where government thinks they know best.
Yeah.
Or our alternative is, if you as a family believe that you want an electric vehicle, then buy one. Make sure you get the adapter in your home. As a government, our job is to make sure the infrastructure is there, the power grid, if we need whatever that power supply is. But it's not to tell you to buy that vehicle. And that's the difference in a nutshell between conservatives and liberal governments.
Yeah.
Wow.
That made sense.
Yeah, so I thought I heard him say in that clip, made in Canada. And then I thought, oh, okay, whatever. But no, I looked it up. It's sales.
Wow.
You cannot buy a vehicle by 2035 in Canada that is not 100% electric. Holy crap.
Wow.
Good luck with that. And to his point about how extreme cold
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Good luck, Canada.
On so many fronts.
On so many fronts.
It's not just that. I mean, there are so many things that they need to deal with in Canada that have been created by these progressives like Justin Trudeau and the new guy now, Mark Carney. He's just as bad, if not worse. So good luck with that.
I mean, just...
Wow. Whew. All right. We got a new month going and a brand new cookie at Kexi. Our cookie of the month is the German chocolate. This is a rich chocolate cookie filled with a creamy coconut center, loaded with semi-sweet chocolate chips, toasted pecans, shredded coconut, and then it's finished with a decadent chocolate drizzle. The Mother's Day boxes, I think, may be sold out. I don't know. You can check and see if you can still get one of these bad boys. But it is definitely time to go to Kexi and check it out. Things are really hectic right now. In fact, Keith's daughter is going to be there today helping out because it's so hectic.
Oh, that's good
right
news
now.
for the business. Huh?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's been busy.
Yeah, let me know
for
if I need
sure.
to talk to her when she gets home. Make sure she's doing her job right.
Yes, absolutely. So go to Kexi.com. I mean, you're going to love these cookies. They are, I really believe, simply the best cookies that exist on this planet. There might be better cookies on some other planet, but we can't even find life, let alone better cookies. So I would just go to Kexi.com and order them. Find out for yourself. Kexi, Kexi.com. All right, we still have much to get to. We got James O'Keefe, who posted a video about going dark. Now, he's going to go with this, whatever story it is, this week, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. He seems very concerned.
So we'll show you what his little preview on that coming up here in a few minutes, and much more on the way.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
So last week, James O'Keefe posted this video about going dark because something's on the way this week.
I'm going dark. I'm not suicidal. Pray for me. This one scares me, guys.
Okay.
Did I see something that his entire staff is also in hiding now before they release this?
I haven't seen that.
Gee, what is...
Wow.
Do we know anything about what is about to be released?
I certainly don't. Interesting.
Just looking to see if there's an update on this because... Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really good way to promote it.
Yeah. Fair. Fair.
Certainly caught our attention, didn't it? Wow. So I don't know. We'll certainly be looking forward to that release.
Yeah.
See what that's all about.
It's going to be
better get it out there soon if it's that dangerous.
It's going to be related to politics, politicians, big business. I don't know.
Deep state? Who knows?
Yeah. So if he posted that on May 1st, then that means coming up Thursday-ish of this week. Okay.
All right. We'll keep our eyes
for
peeled.
him.
Yeah.
He does good work.
It was reported that a Houthi missile struck near the airport in Tel Aviv over the weekend, Ben Gurion. And here's what that looked like. I don't know
you see
why they're still able to do this stuff.
Yeah, where's the Iron Dome?
Yeah.
Huh.
So they're raining missiles down on their airport now. I think they canceled all the flights in and out of the airport because...
It landed right next to the airport in a field, so that's helpful.
Yeah. It's only, their incompetence that, something more drastic didn't happen there. It is time to just... I mean, if we haven't already put the hammer down on the Houthis, can we please do that? Can we just stop the madness? I don't understand how they're able to continue. I know they've got the help of Iran, that Iranians are backing them, but seems like we should be able to put a stop to this. The attacks on shipping, the attacks on Israel. Of course, Israel has said they will, in fact, retaliate. So we'll see what comes of that. Meanwhile, 2 planes had to abort landings as Army helicopters flew near Reagan International Airport again.
Oh, no.
Why don't we stop with the helicopters getting close to Reagan?
Is that
possible? Can we not do that anymore?
That should be a solution, right?
I would think it.
Do your training over here,
right?
Instead of here?
How about you stay away from the airport, and that way you don't run into planes that are landing?
I mean, if that answer sucks, I'm sorry, but it seems
it just seems logical, doesn't it?
No, look, we have to train in real-time traffic and risk running into airline passenger jets, or else it's not real world. I don't understand this.
Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't get it. And apparently, they're being told by air traffic control, you need to move, and people aren't moving, so the planes are having to. That's bizarre, and that needs to stop. Also, over the weekend, did you hear? We've been talking so much about tariffs lately. President Trump actually made a 100% tariff on movies made outside the U.S. now. Wow. So he wants the movie industry to come back to the United States of America. He said other countries are offering all sorts of incentives to draw our filmmakers and studios away from the United States. Hollywood and many other areas within the USA are being devastated. This is a concerted effort by other nations and therefore a national security threat. It is, in addition to everything else, messaging and propaganda. He then announced that he's authorizing the Department of Commerce and U.S. trade representatives to immediately begin the process of instituting a 100% tariff on any and all movies coming to our country that are produced in foreign lands. Wow. We want movies made in America again. Make American movies again, Mama. I guess this would be the Mama movement now.
Mama movement, okay.
The announcement comes as professionals have struggled to get movies and TV series to be completed, filmed from the beginning to end in Hollywood due to budget cuts for tax credits on productions. Yeah, they're being enticed elsewhere. By the end of last year, Film LA, the Los Angeles agency that handles film permits throughout the city, reported a 5% drop in film and TV production in the third quarter. The 5,048 total film and TV shoot days also represented a massive 36.4% drop from the 5-year average. At the same time, reality television production tumbled a massive 56.3%. But that might just be because reality TV sucks. That's possible. And represented a 52.7% drop against the 5-year average. Drama television production was down 34.4%, though, too. So that's amazing. And comedy production was down 85.7% from the 5-year average.
Yeah, people don't like laughing anymore. I guess.
Not in this country, anyway. We can go in other countries and laugh. So TV production overall fell 18.3%, down 53.2% from the 5-year average over the quarter. Wow. So now, experts warn, the once booming city of the stars may be in decline. This is not hyperbole to say if we don't act, the California film and TV industry will become the next Detroit auto. That's, in part, that's California's fault, too. I mean, it's cost so much to produce your movies there that it's hard to blame them going somewhere else, like Texas, at least, Georgia, Canada, which is a foreign country you might recognize. Yeah, that's not part of the U.S., even though President Trump wants it to be.
I will say that Pat Gray Unleashed, every day, broadcasts from the United States of America.
Every single day.
So we are avoiding tariffs.
Yeah, you'll never be charged a tariff for this show.
Made in America.
So you're welcome. Now, the president also made a pitch for, of course, less things to be on the shelf soon and a lot of people are warning about that. So, if you are in the market for toys for Christmas or whatever, this might be a good time to get them. Just do it a little bit in advance.
Oh, yeah.
Just in case something happens.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I shop throughout the year. I don't want to be in a crush at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And then I just...
It'll be less of a hassle that way, too.
Hide stuff from
right?
the kids. I mean, they're older now, but back in the day anyway, you just hide that stuff and,
and then you're ready for Christmas.
Make them wait. Drop hints throughout the year. It might be cool when you get something in about 8 months. Wait, what? What was that? Never mind. Yeah.
All right. Are you tired of being lied to? Wall Street insists that the only way to have enough money to retire is to put your life savings into a 401k or an IRA and then, roll the dice with all of it in a Wall Street casino. But if that were true, then why do studies show that the average American, following that wonderful advice, will outlive their savings by a staggering 10 years? That's not good. And even if the man who invented the 401k says it's a monster that should be destroyed. Wow. So how would you like to get access to your money for emergencies and opportunities with no questions asked? There are no government penalties or restrictions on how much or when you can take it. And when you use your money, it just keeps growing like you never touched it in the first place. Try doing that with a 401k or an IRA. Well, you can't. Your money's guaranteed to grow by a larger dollar amount every year in both good times and bad. And you'll know the minimum guaranteed value of your retirement savings on the day that you plan to tap into them and at every point along the way. It is bank on yourself. This is a great strategy. You can get a free report that reveals how you can bank on yourself and enjoy tax-free retirement income, guaranteed growth, and control of your money. Just go to bankonyourself.com/unleashed and get your free report. That's bankonyourself.com/unleashed. And go over the report, see if it's right for you. bankonyourself.com/unleashed.
Pat Gray returns.
Apparently, Prince Harry wants a reconciliation with the royal family. And the royal family, I guess the king doesn't even talk to him anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So Harry wants, his royal discount when he goes to restaurants and stuff. And
yes.
He's like, hey, help out my brother.
This is why I love the royal family so much, because it's so great that they continue to play dress up like this. Isn't it wonderful that, the most expensive game of dress up in the history of the planet, they struggled so hard to get away from the king, to stop being a monarchy, and now they continue to pretend that they have a monarchy. That's great. And it only costs the taxpayers like a couple billion a year. That's not bad. So I don't know if there will be reconciliation. I think they're pretty pissed off at him because of the book he wrote. And other issues. I think there's some issues going on there.
Which one's Harry married to again?
Meghan.
Oh, okay.
What's her face?
Markle.
Meghan Markle.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. From Suits.
So she. Where are they at in Canada now? U.S. No, they're in the U.S.
I think they're
right?
they're here. They started in Canada, then they moved to America.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. They need to move back home. Just go back to London or whatever. I mean,
whatever.
I'm sure that they'll provide you protection if you go back to England. Everything will be fine. Meanwhile, speaking of England, Nigel Farage's Reform Party is apparently blowing some holes in England's two-party system. A dramatic victory in a parliamentary special election. Hundreds of seats have been won in English municipalities, and they've got a first taste of power in the lower tiers of government in England. By making extensive gains in a bunch of local elections held in England on Thursday, Nigel Farage, one of Britain's best-known supporters of President Trump and the leader of the anti-immigration reform UK party, consolidated his reputation as the country's foremost political disruptor. But he may have done something bigger still. He might have blown a hole in the two-party political system. You know, they got the Conservatives and they have the Labor Party, and pretty much that's it until now. For nearly all of the past century, power in Britain has alternated between the governing Labor Party and Keir Starmer as the Prime Minister right now, and the opposition Conservatives, who last year selected a new leader, Kemi Badenoch.
Sure.
We'll go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, with surging support for reform and gains for other small parties, that duopoly has rarely looked more shaky, which is great because we keep hearing that President Trump is responsible for liberals in Canada and New Zealand or Australia.
Yeah, Australia and
I don't know.
Canada going left.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see.
But is that because of Trump? I don't think so. I think it's because of stupidity on their own part. They've got...
Oh, that's a big part of it.
Yeah. Yes. So there's plenty of stupidity to go around without having to blame our president for the madness that's going on. I mean, Australia's been going downhill for how long now? I mean, you could barely call that a Western nation anymore.
Yeah,
Same with Britain.
COVID really...
Yeah.
Really exposed Canada and Australia for how far left they are.
Really did. And if there's another pandemic, can you imagine how much more freedom all of these countries will lose? I mean, if they haven't been shaken by all that by now, then I guess you get what you got coming to you. Meanwhile, closer to home, the chemtrails. If you just say the word chemtrails to any government-trusting American citizen, you'll be painted as a nut job right-wing conspiracy theorist, right? This is maybe something we should look into on a Friday episode. There's good news for those who have been sounding the alarm. RFK Jr. has recently confirmed the use of chemtrails over America.
Mm-hmm.
And so has an Air Force whistleblower and exposure scientist, Kristen Megan, who's been making claims about a secret government chemtrail program for over a decade. I've been among the skeptics on the chemtrail situation because I believed it's just frozen exhaust, right, that lingers there for a while. Megan has worked in occupational environmental safety and health as a senior industrial hygienist and an exposure scientist for 23 years. For 9 of those years, she's worked on active duty in the Air Force in a field called bioenvironmental engineering. So for people to understand, it's like the DOD's equivalent of OSHA, EPA, DOT, she says. When her brother showed her documentary on chemtrails, Megan recalls believing it was the most ridiculous thing she'd ever seen. But in my journey of trying to debunk it and basically tell everyone they're ridiculous, I've realized not only is it real, but it's coming right through my office. A lot of people that have industrial jobs are familiar with something called a safety data sheet. Basically, there's certain things that are on those sheets, and it has to have packing group information. Like if you're shipping it, is it double contained? All of those things. It was missing so much information, and I always say I'm never going to jail for anybody. Then later it hits me, these same things that are coming in, like powdered oxide form, these heavy metals are the same metals that people are claiming are in the chemtrails. Before telling anybody, she did tests on her own. She says, I started doing soil sampling, air sampling, different types of techniques. And I finally went to my supervisors and was like, is this right? There's things that I can tell you that I can't tell you, but I'm telling you the aircraft was being retrofitted and that that is the earth-shattering moment. In 2008, just a few days prior to telling her supervisors, Megan had won non-commissioned officer of the quarter for her exemplary performance. Right after that, she began being treated differently. They threw the, are you okay? You know, you're looking a little depressed. I could put you on a 120-day mental hold. Who would watch your daughter, she recalls. I was actually supposed to re-enlist, and without any warning, with about 10 days left, I was out the door. No job. And that's because I guess she was exposing the chemtrail situation.
Wow.
She says it scared my higher-ups, and I immediately got an attorney, got whistleblower protection, and I was very vocal for a long time. She noted that they've admitted why they do this. It's to dim the sun, which is what they've been talking about a lot lately, that they're going to dim the sun because of global warming. But I wonder, though, if a lot of people that are behind this actually believe in global warming.
I mean, I will say that there was an article recently about how the British government was going full speed ahead on sun dimming projects.
Right.
And the article...
Wasn't that just last week?
Yeah. And then in the article, it noted that planes produce pollution that they've, in localized areas, determined block the sun and lower the temperature. So why would you be against airplane pollution if it's accomplishing the goal that you say you want?
Yeah, right.
You should be like, hey, let's fly everywhere. Let's fly to the Kroger down the street here. If that'll lower the temperature. It's madness, these people.
Yes, because they've got so many conflicting ideologies going on at the same time. They run into themselves about half the time on half their issues. So, I don't know. Is it something to block the sun? Is it something to make Americans sick? Is it just frozen vapor? I don't know. But maybe we should look into this and maybe get her on one of our Friday shows.
Cool. What's her name again? I can find out later if you want.
Yeah, we'll find out later. Because I've long since gone past her name. Also, there's a home for sale that features a whole bunch of filth and dead animals. I'm pretty sure that real estate agents I trust would guide you away from something like this.
Okay.
Yeah. 5 people face more than a dozen charges after animal control officers found several animals living in what investigators describe as deplorable conditions, and other animals already dead at a home in Walker County. According to county officials, the case began when a couple touring a house for sale on Highway 151 flagged down a nearby animal control officer. So they had these people just show up at this house.
Was it open house?
Yeah, open house.
Oh, nice.
Somebody showed up to potentially buy it. And
Look.
So they walk into the place, and they said, yeah, we were concerned after seeing several dogs and cats living in filthy conditions inside the property, as well as dead ferrets inside a crate.
Look, if you want a prestigious address like Highway 101, as you mentioned,
it's 151.
151, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah,
I mean, you're going to overlook some of the blemishes that come along with a house, because, location is everything. And
when you want to be on Highway 151, you got to put up with some stuff.
Dead ferret, whatever, man. I'm in the best school district. I don't care about the dead animals everywhere.
And I get the sound of the cars driving by at 75, 80 miles an hour all day long.
That's good, too.
Oh, that's fun, too.
You got to like it.
Animal control and a deputy from the Walker County Sheriff's Office responded to the home. Outside, they found not just a dead ferret, but also decomposing bunnies and 2 dead goats.
So hang on. Are they fenced in? Or is this... Okay. Because if they're fenced in, then it's obviously the homeowner's issue. They got too many pets they can't take care of. They neglect them. Now, if there are no fences, and it's just animals dying around the house...
That's a problem.
What is going on at that location?
Exactly. What is happening here? Because there were 5 people that lived there, 178, 65, 42, 40, and 20. So they don't describe what the relationship is there.
Forgot to feed the dogs.
But they've been charged with 13 counts of cruelty to animals and 3 counts of aggravated cruelty to animals. And they removed a total of 20 animals from the property, including 9 dogs, 4 cats, 2 horses, 2 goats, 2 donkeys, 1 sheep, 1 pony, And then, of course, the dead goats and the dead ferrets.
21 alive animals. And how many are dead, do we know?
Think about
the same amount, it sounds.
Yeah,
Okay.
it sounds like a lot.
And you said there's
are dead
6
as well.
adults living there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just 5 adults.
So in my house, not nearly as many animals, not nearly as many people, but we do communicate. Like, did you feed the dogs?
You do?
Right?
You do?
Yeah.
Ask that question?
Yeah, we have a family text.
Okay.
And we're like, hey, just who's feeding the dogs today?
Yeah.
You know?
That way they don't die.
They don't die or be hungry, you know? Like, it's like somebody needs to take care of this.
Yeah, it's quite a concept.
And so
if you're going to have all of these animals, why do you neglect them this way?
Oh, I just hate it, man.
I do too. It's just, it's ugly. I don't understand. Something is definitely wrong with you mentally.
Yeah.
If you get all of these animals and then you just allow them to suffer.
Yeah, that's what sucks, man. Human babies and animals who can't
really bad.
Speak for themselves.
Right.
And just depend on you. And then this, just hate it so much.
And in a non-farm situation, when you've got this many animals, yeah, it's there's something wrong there.
What state was this in again?
There's something wrong.
Highway 151?
Highway 151, Walker County in I don't know.
Georgia.
Georgia.
Oh, yay, Georgia.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.